So it does make total sense that our Nazi president is a Zionist.
Except for Israel.
There's a wrinkle in this.
With I. You can be, okay, Ireland, Israel, isolationist.
The fascism has a wrinkle in it.
Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland of the Majority Report got to go after two maniacal grifters at once as Patrick Bet-David spoke to Laura Loomer on his show. Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland broke all this down. Patrick Bet-David is one of their favorite targets of ridicule, and this is one of my favorite things that they do on their show. I wanted to share a couple of clips of this and share my thoughts on it as well. Let's get into this together.
Patrick Bet-David hosted Laura Loomer on his podcast, because why not? They had to do anything to keep Vinny from blowing Trump's Epstein gamut.
She's anti-Vinny.
Is she anti-Vinny? Oh yeah, okay.
That's what
they're really. This is really an assault on Vinny. But here is Laura Loomer on the Patrick Bet-David podcast.
And I would just before you play this, Sam, cut to it, Brian. In the bottom, there is a QR code and it says Laura Loomer, Minect, get expert advice instantly. And now it looks like a dating app. Looks like something like Jack Posobiec might look at when he's expecting. But that is their new scam, which is that you can.
Oh, they've been doing this. They had that when I was there. Even it's their own app where it's like a what do you call it? No, what's it? The Cameo.
Right.
You get some type of advice from Laura Loomer.
that I'm sure isn't like a chat bot that's trained to talk like Laura Loomer. But anyway,
I'm also convinced that this is a way for them to just collect people's data, and people should probably read the fine print before signing up for those kinds of things.
Probably a nice little subscription charge anyway. But here's Laura Loomer talking about the current state of the right.
Was highlighting a few moments ago about how people are trying to pivot professionally and economically and also politically. And now that we're going to see a post-Trump GOP for the first time in, the last 10 years or so, there's going to be a lot of competing interests that are going to try to capitalize the messaging. Is it going to be the MAGA movement? I don't think so. Not that I don't think the MAGA movement can sustain itself, but there really isn't anybody who could be President Trump's successor. Even President Trump himself was asked during an interview a couple of months ago, do you think that J.D. Vance is your successor? He said no. I don't think there's anybody. And that's no disrespect to J.D. I like J.D. I had a meeting with him in the White House.
You trust him?
I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody. I trust Trump. And Trump and I have had these conversations before too.
Are you?
Trump asks me all the time, "Who do you like, Laura? Who do you like?" And I say, "Nobody but you." And he laughs. I mean, I've had the same conversation with Trump several times, and he busts up laughing. He thinks it's the funniest thing. But I'm not joking.
Are you America first, or are you Trump first?
I'm America first, but. Trump is America first. Trump is the leader of the America First movement. So when I say, when Tucker Carlson says, oh, Trump's not America first, Trump is the founder of the America First movement.
What's fascinating to me is, aside from Laura Loomer trying to squeeze in as much humble brags that she speaks to Trump on a regular basis. And,
all I need is you, Mr. Trump.
Listen, I've talked to the vice president many times. I like him, but I just don't like him as much as the president, who I've talked to all the time. But aside from that, how do you, in one breath, say there is no successor to Trump, and then refer to America First or MAGA or any of this as a movement? The idea, it is not a movement if there can be no possible leadership other than the guy who's there now. That's a cult.
It's a bowel movement.
Sam Seder's 100% correct about it being a cult, and this is the thing about cults, is they don't typically survive beyond the founder of the cult, the leader of the cult. So Donald Trump, obviously, it's a cult of people who worship him. So Laura Loomer is correct, I believe, that there isn't a successor to Trump. And this is going to all fall apart once Trump is gone. J.D. Vance is a guy with zero charisma, negative charisma. He will not be the successor to Donald Trump. We've seen what happened with Elon Musk. You look at other, weasels like Ted Cruz who've tried to sort of emulate Trump at times. Nobody likes Ted Cruz. So there isn't really anybody on the horizon for the Republicans that can take this mantle from Trump and be the new cult leader. So as terrible as Laura Loomer is, I would agree with her on this one aspect. Laura Loomer is correct about that. This is all going to just fall apart once Trump is gone. You know, you add a lot of these people, the voters, were non-political people. And in 2028, they're not going to say, well, you know, I support Josh Hawley or whoever the next Republican nominee would be. No, they're just going to go back to not paying attention to politics. They don't really care about politics or the Republican Party. They care about Trump. He's their God king.
Well, also, this entire conversation is...
but the point is, like, this is not she admits that it is not a movement. It is because if there is no potential for even a successor, if there's no way to have someone who can take it over, it is just a cult. It's
That's
just
exactly
an
what it is.
authoritarian cult.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like a cult member at all.
Well, this entire conversation is premised on the idea that Trump invented America first, and that everyone I'll just play a little bit more, that we can get into that.
Like, Trump is America first. Trump is the leader of the America first movement. So when I say, when Tucker Carlson says, oh, Trump's not America first, Trump is the founder of the America first movement. America first is what Trump says it is. He is the founder of the America first movement. And you see that there are competing interests now trying to, redefine what that means, because they want to eliminate MAGA. Right? Being pro-Israel is part of the America First platform, whether or not people want to admit it or not. It is. President Trump, and I want to speak for him, his policy positions make him a Zionist. And so it's so funny to see all of these grifters who some of them even name their shows after America First, right? You have people who say that they are America First commentators, and they built their entire political careers. I mean, look, you have Nick Fuentes, for example. His entire show is called America First. Right? His entire show is
his show called America First?
His show is called America First with Nick Fuentes.
I know he wears that.
I'll just say PBD, I don't know if he's been in studio, but I'm pretty sure one of the boys has had Fuentes on Valuetainment property, but
But America First was the movement that was trying to get the United States not to go into World War II.
The America First Committee was Charles Lindbergh's, isolationist movement.
Lindbergh? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I came up with that.
What are you talking about?
Because Fuentes, even if you ask Nick Fuentes, he's like, yeah, Trump I did get this from Trump. But Trump got it from someone else. He didn't invent, just like he didn't invent Make America Great Again.
He took that from Reagan.
What are you talking about? It's morning in America again.
And the funny thing with Loomer trying to say America First means Zionism is that, like Emma said, when you look at the original America First Committee, the main sort of scandal about it was there was a bunch of actual anti-Semites anti-Semites in it.
Okay, that's the point.
But it actually fits.
Anti-Semitic and still be Israel first.
This is dialectical. This is the dialectics of it.
But I mean, there's the contradictory part where America First was isolationist, and then she's saying, actually, no, America First is now Zionism, which is definitely not isolationist. But then the true part is that, yeah, in the 21st century, the modern equivalent of Nazis are aligned with the Zionists, and they overlap in almost every way. Yep. So it does make total sense that our Nazi president is a Zionist.
Except for Israel.
There's a wrinkle in this.
Start with I. You can be okay. Ireland, Israel, isolationist.
The fascism has a wrinkle in it.
Right? His entire show
is his show called America First?
His show is called America First with Nick Fuentes.
I know he wears the hat. I don't know his show is called America First. What do you think about Nick? Very capable communicator. What do you think about it?
He's a very talented communicator, but he burns every bridge that he has because he doesn't know how to express gratitude. He's probably the biggest ingrate I've ever met.
Can you pause this?
Yeah.
This is the woman that chained herself to Twitter's headquarters because she was banned for saying explicitly anti-Muslim hate speech. And she had a Jewish star on, or talked about how it's I
think she was wearing a yellow armband for a while.
Right, a yellow armband, basically saying that this was equivalent to Nazi Germany, what happened here. And she's now just saying that, holding her punches back on Nick Fuentes, who is an explicit
He's an ingrate.
Nazi.
That's the biggest problem with him. It's
Hitler apologist.
Yeah, let's see if she gets any more condemnation for this Nazi.
Literal Nazi, and he would say so.
He's rude. He's rude. He chews with his mouth open, so forget it.
He doesn't send thank you notes.
His etiquette could use some work.
My life. I'm Jewish. Ingrate. He is an ingrate. And I am Jewish.
Nazi.
And, I got a lot of heat. When I ran for Congress, I lost a lot of donors because I defended Nick's right to free speech. I said, look, even as a Jew, I don't like a lot of the stuff he says about Jews in Israel, but he has a right to say it. And I don't think that somebody his age or just anybody, doesn't matter how old you are, should be demonized and have their bank account shut down and be blacklisted everywhere. I mean I've been subjected to that. I know what it's like.
He has as well, though, right? I think he...
And just a note, like that's a claim by Fuentes. I'm not sure if there's actually reporting about that bank thing, but to say that when Loomer says I've been through that too, she's also referring to the Twitter protest, but also she tweeted at Uber and Lyft saying, "Can you create a feature where I can make sure I don't get a Muslim driver?" And both of those apps were like, "We're going to ban you from the app. Thank you very much."
It's such a weird needle to thread for the MAGA people like Laura Loomer and Patrick Bet-David, where they're pro-Israel, but there's all this anti-Semitism within MAGA, and also just the bizarre aspect of Laura Loomer saying supporting Israel is America first. How could supporting any foreign country be putting the United States of America first? No one would ever say this about any country other than Israel. If somebody said you have to support England, as an American, you have to support England, and if you don't support everything that England's government does, then that means that you hate the English people. Just think of the insanity of that. It seems like this is a very one-sided relationship, that the United States is giving a lot more than they're getting from Israel. And in terms of the America First thing and MAGA being anti-war, that was always BS. The MAGA people like Laura Loomer and Patrick Bet-David and Marjorie Taylor Greene have only been anti-war in terms of opposing the war between Russia and Ukraine, in terms of the United States' involvement in assisting Ukraine in that war. MAGA is more than happy to continue supporting Israel. So it's just such a bizarre notion. Let me know in the comments, do you think that supporting any other country, it doesn't have to be Israel, but any country, if someone said, well, you have to support Zimbabwe, and if you don't support Zimbabwe, then you're not America first. It just makes absolutely no sense. But that's where we are right now. It's constant logic pretzels and mental gymnastics from right-wingers like Laura Loomer, like Patrick Bet-David. And as I said, I do think that Laura Loomer is right, and Sam Seder is correct, and Emma Vigeland is correct when they say it's just a cult. We have a cult of personality. It's a cult of one. It's Donald Trump. And when he's gone, it's going to be chaos within the Republican Party, because there is no successor to Donald Trump. Even if Donald Trump tried to say, okay, Donald Trump Jr. is going to be my successor, I don't think many of the MAGA people would go for that. Donald Trump Jr. is a moron. He doesn't have whatever it is that Donald Trump has that makes him appealing to a certain segment of the population. So he's not going to be able to pass this cult on. But let me know what you think. Do you agree with Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland in their assessment of Laura Loomer, but also in her assessment that there isn't really anybody on the horizon that can take Donald Trump's place? Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to give me a like and subscribe. I'm getting close to 100,000 subscribers, and I want to keep growing. This is Chris on Culture, and I will see you in the next video.